A warm welcome. So, today's topic is space has no gravity and hence people float in space. So, that is the topic. And for covering this topic, I require three periods. So, let me explain the lesson plan for these three periods. Let me start with the first period. The first period start with an ice breaking activity. So, the teacher has to enter the class with an ice breaking activity kit that is a magnet with some materials that may be attracted by magnet. Some things should be attracted by the magnet and some should not be attracted. For example, some pins, some rubber bands or anything plastic things the teacher has to enter, and they have to sort out the children using the magnets. They have to give the things to the students and they have to sort out with the magnets. So the main aim of that ice breaking activity is to apply the magnetic force in that. So the let me after that, after completing the ice breaking activity, the teacher has to enter into the content. So today's learning outcome is to learn the various types of force. So the content is, first of all, we have to explain what is force. Then she has to explain the various types of force, the main three types of force. The three types of force are gravitational force, magnetic force, and frictional force. So after explaining the three types, she has to explain the various application of these forces, where we are using and how we can find the difference between these forces, all those things. And we can come up with some activities that contain some balls and some heavy materials, because in the ice breaking activity we started with magnetic force, isn't it? So we are completing the class with some gravitational force experiments. So for that we require some heavy materials as well as lightweight materials. The heavier materials will reach the ground first, and we throw the lighter materials, means it will take some time. For example, feather or some papers. So we can explain with that, and we can if we can play with that materials. And we are winding up the class with the assessment. The assessment may be an MCQ question or any written exam. The MCQ questions which covers the definition, they can explain the types of force, application of force. After that they can write the various definition of force or relating to that. So we are winding up the first period. Now I am moving to the second period. The learning outcome for the second period is learning about the gravitational force. We are moving directly into the gravitational force. So far we completed the three forces. So we are giving a small review about the first period, and we are moving to the second period, which covers entirely the learning outcome of the gravitational force alone. So the content which covers the gravitational force on Earth. So what are the experiments we can follow to find out the gravitational force on Earth? For example, simple pendulum. If we can show it to the students also. And the gravitational force on space, on other celestial bodies like our moon, yeah, Mars, in other planets, how it is. So to strengthen this concept, we can show some videos also. Audio visuals can also be shown to them, so they will get easily to the topic. And the experiments, we can come with experiments. It may be a simple pendulum or anything else. We can come with it, and we can show how, depending upon the level of the students, understanding of the students, we can show it to them. And the assessment will be it may be a written test, or it may be a written test, or it may be MCQs, or it can follow with some funny activities also. We can ask the students to walk as in moon, to walk as in Mars. So how we will walk when we are in Mars, means how we will walk when we are in moon, means how we will walk. All those things we can explain, and we can end up with this funny activities. Definitely some misconceptions will be there when we are teaching about the gravitational force of Earth and the gravitational force of moon. Both the objects, the planet as well as the natural satellite, both are having gravitational force, isn't it? So some students will come with a question that both are having force, why can't they attract each other and collide each other? They are not doing it. It is there only. No, the moon is somewhat far away. Why it is not at all colliding with that? Yeah, is it possible to collide? So they will come up with these questions. So definitely we have to explain the students that it is just far away from our atmospheric level. The force of attraction will be within some limit. The moon, it is just beyond that limit. We have to explain that. So in between Earth and moon, the space is there. So we have to give a small introduction about the space is not having gravity. So with this point we have to wind up the second period. And in the third period, the learning outcome is how the space, is it having gravity or not. So that is the learning outcome. So gravity in space. And the content, we have to explain the gravitational force, whether the space is having or not. And if the gravitational force is not there, means how the satellites, artificial satellites are there, know how it is working there, and how the astronauts are living there. We have to explain these things. Then we have to strengthen that with a concept like artificial gravity that exists inside the satellites. We can strengthen our topic with with these things, with these points. And some audio visuals can also be shown. That may be an activity of this lesson, this day. We can show some audio visuals, how the astronauts are moving, how the water bubbles will float inside the satellites. All those things we can explain. And the assessment may be a writing test, or we can ask questions, MCQs relating to that. And the misconception will also arise that artificial gravity is similar to Earth's gravity or not. So definitely we have to explain the difference between artificial gravity and our Earth's gravity. Thank you.